Right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Makar Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. And this is going to serve as a pretty brief video. And it's inspired by this article that you see here on the screen. And also inspired by, a few videos that I've been seeing circulating really throughout, the last month or so regarding this subject matter that you have here on the screen. Now it says, and this is from Reuters, and this is a fact check, and it says, fact check, Oxfordshire County Council to trial congestion, reducing traffic filters, not a climate L-down that stops residents leaving neighborhoods, all right? And pretty much this article here is an attempt, if you will, to debunk the information, that's circulating online regarding, these climate L-downs and, the coming restrictions and fining system that they're going to introduce in Oxfordshire out here in the UK in 2024, all right? And, when you read through the information, which I'm not going to read through all of the information, because it's very Salakia, I'm a bit under the weather. The information is very lengthy, all right? But I've read through it in its entirety, but I'm going to touch upon a few points. And, we'll get into a few scriptures, but for the most part, you can clearly see that they are setting the stage to, yet again, take away more of your perceived liberties that you have by introducing this system. And it reminds me of the film with Justin Timberlake by the name of In Time. Now, in that film, I know most of you brothers out there have seen it, but in that film, you have basically a currency system that's basically based upon time, all right? And if you run out of time, you basically die. And I believe in the film, if I'm not mistaken, Justin Timberlake's mother, I believe it was his mother, she actually died because she ran out of time. And they would actually look upon their arm and you would see how much time that they had left. So they was always in a rush and they were always in haste, anytime they were going somewhere, especially on a job, because, your life, your currency is based upon how much time you have on the digital system. So you also had grids in that movie too, and you had the poor and you had the rich, and the poor were not allowed, to go to the grids where the rich dwelt. And one thing you notice in the movie is that they show you how the rich move a lot slower, all right? Because they were wealthy and they wasn't in a rush, all right? Because they have an abundance of money. So it made them move slower and they lived their life at a slower pace. And this is what this scenario kind of reminds me of, the beginning stages of introducing, draconian measures that's going to basically be the foundation for introducing, those extremes. And right, this is how it always begins. They start doing these fact checks, articles and, videos, so on and so forth, so-called, debunking the talk that's out there. But give it, a year, give it a few months even, and then you will see examples of exactly what they were debunking, so-called debunking, happening in real life. And this happened, with the with the the serum. This happened with the whole L downs, a few years ago, and this happened with the side effects of the JABs. All right, they were denying it, saying that you don't get any reactions, so on and so forth. And now you have it. We in 2023, and people are dropping dead left, right, and center, man, at alarming rates. You got celebrities that are just dropping dead. You got family members, that are dropping dead left, right, and center because they took the JAB. Okay, and that's how it's going down. And that's why the scriptures say, never trust your enemy, man. All right? But I'm going to read through a bit of this, and then we'll get into a few scriptures, man. Now, it says, basically, just to give you a brief introduction, it says, an article being shared widely online is falsely claiming that a local council in England will trial climate L-downs from 2024. It says the move will prevent residents from leaving their neighborhoods without permission from authorities, which is not far-fetched, all right? You see how, the world is going, and this is how they introduce these things, It's all about the labeling. So now they've called it a congestion-reducing traffic filters, all right? And basically, just to summarize, there's particular times that you can't go through, particular roads. They're going to be locked off unless you have like a special permit. And, they're going to introduce these new cameras that's going to basically, monitor and, be the surveillance to catch out those that, break the rules. Now, these things can easily be escalated and be made more draconian as time goes by. But again, this is the foundation, the building blocks for setting up that system, to take away more and more of your liberty over time, man. All right? Now, let me scroll down. It says, in a series of emails exchanged with Reuters, a spokesperson for Oxfordshire County Council said the Vision News article had misrepresented its traffic filter initiative, which has been part of Oxford's transport strategy since 2015 and aims to tackle traffic congestion and reduce pollution. All right, and that's what this whole New World Order system is all about. All right, it's coming in the pretense of tackling congestion, pollution, and monitoring your carbon footprint. This is how they're getting away with all of these policies and statutes and unrighteous decrees that they're implementing in the system. All right, they're coming in the name of trying to save the earth, so-called try to save the earth. All right, when they're the ones that have destroyed it. It says 6 traffic filters are set to be tested, and there goes that 6 vibration. All right, so 6 traffic filters are set to be tested for a minimum of 6 months. All right, so 6 traffic filters for a minimum of 6 months, man. All right, and you remember during the time of the L downs 2-3 years ago, they had the law of 6 saying that you had to stay 6 feet apart. All right, in public, if I'm not mistaken. So they always come in as 6 vibration. All right, and that's how you know that this is the elites working their witchcraft upon the people. All right, now it says from 2024, this means that between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. private cars will need a permit to get through. So there's going to be particular roads that are going to be blocked off, and you're going to have to basically take a longer route to go, to a particular location, that you want to get to. All right. So that's basically how it's going to be. But again, over time, things are going to tighten up, and it's going to get more and more draconian as time goes by, because that's the best way to get things done. All right. Is to give you a taste of it, to deny all allegations, and then slowly but surely implement, different measures, over the months, over the weeks, months, and years. That's how Esau gets down. And it's called, there's a particular word for it, that it's called gradualism. All right, that's what Esau uses. He uses the process, the technique of gradualism in order to get things done. All right. So I have another article here, and this is actually from the Oxford government website. And it says staff and counsellors at both councils have been subject to abuse due to inaccurate information being circulated online about traffic filters. So basically, it's caused up a stir. And due to these videos that have been going out there, basically, exposing, their plans and their agenda and where it's really going to lead to, people that work for the council, so on and so forth, have been targeted, man. All right. But best believe that, a lot of these things are done strategically, to have the public react in a particular way so they can actually point the finger. All right. But it doesn't stop them from actually actioning, their plans at a later date. All right. And that's why, we always got to be on top, of this information. And, really, fact check, things for ourselves. Like I said, I read through a few articles and I've come to the conclusion that, their agenda is basically a front. And, sooner or later, they're going to come to the point where it's going to become more draconian, man. All right. So let's get into a few scriptures and then we'll close out. This is 2 Esdras chapter 15. Let's go straight to the point. And verse 17. And it reads, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right. So this is prophecy. All right. This is biblical prophecy right here. And these are the times that are actually manifesting, right before our eyes. The time where you want to go somewhere and you won't be able to go to that place. All right. Because of the draconian measures that have been set in place, man. All right. And we've already experienced this. Okay. You remember during the, the pandemic, those particular nations that you couldn't fly to unless you have the, the JAB, so on and so forth. Those particular places here in the UK, you weren't allowed to drive to. There was a driving ban, So this ain't nothing new, okay? These things are actually happening. So again, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, all right? And the cities are troubled, man, all right? And again, things are going to continue to get more and more severe in society, man, and get more restricted to the point where people are not going to be able to take it no more, man. All right. But this is a time of judgment. And again, it says because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Especially London is a very prideful city, man. It's a very demonic, prideful city. All right. So best believe Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to send great judgment upon this, this filthy place, man. It says, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. So all kind of things are going to be happening, in these last days, man. All right. A lot of judgment, a lot of love of the people, waxing cold, as it tells us in Matthew 24. We're living in those times right now, man. All right, so the next scripture I want to get right quick is Revelations 13 and verse 11, and it reads, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, and that's exactly, what Esau is doing. All right, he's moving forward and leaning towards speaking as a dragon. All right, speaking with great wrath, coming out with draconian, laws and measures that he's putting upon the people. And as I said, as time goes by, these laws and these policies are only going to get more and more draconian, more harsh as time goes by. All right. He's going to get rid of that pretense and he's really going to show you his horns. All right. Because we're in a time of the end. And that reminds me of Revelations chapter 12 and verse 12. Let's get that right quick. And it reads, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time. All right. So the devil, being Esau, Edom, all right, they are the physical counterparts of the spiritual demon Satan upon the face of the earth. All right. And the devil knows, Esau Edom knows that he has but a short time. And that's why he's been moving, with great urgency. All right. Concerning his plans, concerning these agendas, because he really wants to get this New World Order system into the acceleration process, man. Okay. And that's why Esau's been very, rash, very, there's a particular word I'm using that I'm thinking about. It's not coming to me. Not spontaneous, but very, damn, the word escapes me. But, he's basically acting out of character, man. All right, because he's trying to get this thing, up and, fully functional out there so he can, get all of these, get this MOTB system, running. All right. So I'll read that again. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that you have but a short time. All right, so you're going to witness that wrath of Esau Edom in these latter days, man. All right, you're going to witness that wrath. And let's get one more scripture and then we'll close out. And this is Psalms 58 and verse 3. And it reads, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right. So the wicked is making mention of, Esau Edom. All right. The Edomites beginning with their ruling elites. All right, they're estranged from the womb and they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So you can't trust anything that this devil says. All right, you can't trust, these fact-checking articles. All right, because again, when we rewind back to last year and a few years ago, every fact-checking article that this devil, came out with, so-called debunking information and false, allegations, so on and so forth, they were confirmed, a year later. All right. And that's happened in many, many different scenarios, man, concerning the information, that was put out there, especially concerning, that demonic serum that people were taking in their body. All right. So, Lord willing, this brief lesson was edifying. And, until the next one, I'll say shalom.